feel privileged to work with Catholic Near East Welfare because I meet extraordinary people. And an example of that was the last story that I did in Beirut, Lebanon in June. And I met 3 amazing people, one of whom was a man named Anis, who was 46 years old. And when he was 1, he had polio, and he is paralyzed on his right arm and his left leg. And he holds down 3 jobs. One, he is like a supervisor in a mattress factory, and the second is his true love. He has a caning operation at home, a tiny, tiny little workshop where 4 chairs just fit perfectly. And then at night, sometimes he does disc jockey work. And I was in awe of this man. It took him at least 15 minutes just to stand up. There was a wheelchair in the back of him, but he refused to go there, and he used crutches. He had received a loan from PMP for $4,300 to expand his little shop. And with that money, he was able to buy supplies. For example, a drill so he could make holes for the caning in the chair. He got polio when he was 1, and when he was 12, he started school because of the disability. And a few years later, the teacher threw him out of the class and said he belonged in a special school for handicapped. So originally he wanted to be a professor, and at the time he was thrown out, he was number 1 in his class and he was exempt from taking exams. And so that dream was just banished. What truly moved me about him was that despite the physical handicaps and everything else that he went through and the disappointments in his own life, he was intent on giving his children the education he never got. And I wonder what his life would have been like had he become that professor, or just was able to have taken a different path, that he was not thrown out of school at 14. And yet there was no complaining, no poor me, no self-pitying. And I look back at my own life and I think how fortunate I am, and how often that I forget that. He had guts and ambition, and he did it with grace and with courage. And he's somebody that will always stay with me. I actually think about him a lot, and wonder how he is.